Let me be absolutely clear. We will not raise tax for working people.
Labour will not be increasing taxes. I am very clear about that.
Sir Keir Starmer came into power promising change.
Change.
The only thing he's changed is his mind. The big news today is that he's going to U-turn on welfare and benefits reform because his backbench MPs have had enough and they're about to rebel. Well, let's have a look at the U-turn since you've been in office, Prime Minister. The rape gang inquiry was a far-right bandwagon. Now it's happening. Then there's this.
I don't want to cut the winter fuel allowance. I don't think anybody what government wants to.
Migrants. We don't scapegoat them.
Now he's saying stuff like this, isn't he?
We risk becoming an island of strangers, not a nation that walks forward together.
U-turn, U-turn, U-turn.
What the hell is the Prime Minister going on about?
I will start with an apology on behalf of the British to each and every one of you.
Security personnel acted with clinical precision, swarming the Prime Minister as a live national audience watched in stunned silence, transforming a routine session of Parliament into a historic constitutional crisis. This wasn't a fringe protest or an online rumour, it was a televised implosion that has left the system teetering and the public demanding immediate resignations. The air inside the Commons was already thick with tension as Keir Starmer faced a crumbling mandate and sliding polls, but the atmosphere turned lethal when Nigel Farage rose. Without the usual theatrics, Farage delivered a forensic indictment, citing specific hotel costs and failed deportations before dropping the ultimate bombshell, leaked evidence of secret negotiations with Brussels over migration. As the chamber stiffened and the government's composure vanished, it became clear that this wasn't just another debate. It was a devastating blow that has left the country asking if the Prime Minister has officially lost his grip on power.
Has been humiliated today.
Rachel Reeves is a disaster, and Keir Starmer's leadership is shambolic. The other day, I went to PMQs, that's Prime Minister's Questions, and I can see why they call it that, because it was just questions. There were no answers. They don't ever answer a flaming question.
Weeks ago, from that dispatch box, the Minister for Rural Affairs said that he'd been congratulated by a farmer over the introduction of the inheritance tax. Now, I think this farmer must have been a cannabis farmer, because just yesterday we had 10,000 farmers on Whitehall protesting against this madcap decision. So does the Deputy Prime Minister agree with me that this decision should be thrown in the trash can along with Rachel from Accounts' CV?
In a dispute, it is so the EU will always win. Why, Prime Minister, when the British people voted peacefully and democratically to leave the European Union, have you surrendered that right and made us a rule taker to the EU once again?
He promised no more taxes on working people. No hike to income tax, national insurance or VAT. Well, 2 days ago, it emerged that this
£22 billion black hole. The £22 billion black hole of £22 billion. Of the £22 billion black hole, the £22 billion in-year black hole
is now a £50 billion black hole. £50 billion. And in order to...
A singular moment of lost composure in Parliament has transformed into a terminal leadership crisis for Keir Starmer. Following a forensic challenge from Nigel Farage, the Prime Minister's public meltdown led the Speaker to invoke a rare disciplinary rule, resulting in Starmer being escorted from the chamber by security. This televised collapse of authority immediately triggered a national rupture, with resign chants echoing from Westminster to social media. As the government's attempts at damage control falter, the public has moved from shock to a hardened judgment, viewing the incident as a definitive proof of Starmer's inability to lead under pressure. In the ensuing weeks, the political landscape has undergone a radical realignment. Within the Labour Party, loyalty has evaporated as MPs shift from defending their leader to calculating their own electoral survival amid plummeting poll ratings. Meanwhile, Reform UK has surged by framing the chaos as evidence of a failed establishment, capturing the attention of a disillusioned public that no longer trusts traditional institutions. This shift is not merely emotional, but structural. The image of a sitting Prime Minister being forced out has become a permanent symbol of a broken system, making a leadership change appear not just likely, but inevitable.
That was, especially over the weekend in the papers, that was a big thing. A lot of the grassroots Labour MPs that were voted in are actually quite frightened now that they will not remain in their seats come the next election in 2028.
As the crisis enters its second month, Britain remains in a state of uneasy paralysis. The government's authority has become a hollow shell, with international partners growing cautious and domestic policy falling into stagnation. The social contract feels increasingly null and void as public services strain under a leadership that appears trapped in a vacuum of its own making. Ultimately, the eruption in Parliament served as a stress test that the Prime Minister failed, leaving the nation at a historic crossroads. Britain is now bracing for a conclusion to this era, aware that once the mask of authority has slipped so publicly, there is no way to restore the old political order,